To the Chairman of the Maritime Safety Authority of Fiji, Board, Mr. David Koltangane, MSAF board members, CEO MSAF, Simon Gravno, agency representative, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, Isambula Minaka, and a very, very good morning to all of you. It's actually with great pleasure, ladies and gentlemen, that I'm actually here this morning to officially open the Maritime Safety Authority of Fiji's Pacific Harbour office. What better place to come do than in Fiji's adventure capital? In opening what is now our 12th office in the country, I'm actually proud to witness and say that we are bringing our services right to your doorstep. This is really and truly a testimony of the collective commitment of the Fijian government and the maritime industry to ensure the continued evolution of MSAF as an entity devoted to developing and protecting Fiji's maritime standards. Ladies and gentlemen, given our geographical dispersion, improving inter-island and marine transportation is actually essential for our livelihoods, for trade and for commerce. And this is our mandate, and more importantly, it's in line with our 5-year and our 20-year National Development Plan. Ladies and gentlemen, as we all know, safety at sea is paramount for the Fijian government, and it's actually a key priority with strategies and programs implemented to raise awareness, to regulate and enforce laws in favor of safety. Environmental concerns also, such as the risk of oil spills, waste discharge and damage to our pristine marine ecosystem is also extremely important. Whilst MSAF and the Fijian government are actually mandated to ensure that environmental and marine development is properly regulated and enforced, it is actually equally the responsibility of every Fijian. Ladies and gentlemen, the Fijian government in the NDP has actually mandated the establishment of MSAF offices, not only around the maritime islands, but we are to take its services to the whole of Fiji and to as many Fijians as possible. For some of you, it may be of some particular interest that MSAF has taken a step towards creating more eco-friendly offices. And this being the first of its kind for us, this container office with a modern architectural design and open plan layout is specifically modified to fit the service that we offer. In fact, this is a pleasant working environment, and I'm sure that my team in the ministry would love this kind of contemporary architecture all around the country. Today, ladies and gentlemen, over a year later, despite being thrown into the deep end by COVID-19 and the pandemic, we are still forging ahead. We are still investing in initiatives that we know matter to all Fijians, and that's why this particular project, which is valued at around $20,000, is more than an investment in an office space. It's an investment in the maritime sector and our service to Fijians. In our commitment to validate the phrase, "No Fijian is left behind," the opening of this office is certainly the progression of government's interest in ensuring that every seafarer living along the Lamy to Serua corridor and all its surrounding islands can access our services without having to travel all the way to Suva. We also have a sizable cluster of maritime operators right here in Pacific Harbour, which means they too can actually greatly benefit. And I know when the tourism industry is back and running, they'll be frequenting the office quite a lot. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure that you will all agree also that the decentralization of these particular services has a positive impact. In decentralizing services such as ship clearances to outer stations like this, we are determined to increase effectiveness in service delivery, and it also provides MSAF with the early signs of potential challenges faced by Fijians in areas that we serve for a quick remedial action. As we all know, Fiji is a maritime nation, and there is a need for better surveillance of ships, especially in our coastal areas, and to protect our borders from unwanted immigrants, to protect our valuable marine resources. Ladies and gentlemen, as you may be aware, the Ministry of Commerce, Trade, Tourism and Transport is responsible for the government shipping franchise scheme, which is a government subsidized service. The Fijian government also within the GSS has allocated a budget of $2.6 million to provide vessel operators and government shipping services this financial year to serve 10 uneconomical routes. That's more than 80 franchise ports. And we want to connect as many Fijians and goods and services across our islands. This is why we introduced an additional route, which is the Benga, Yanuda and Vatulele route, which began its maiden voyage in February this year. This service is made to 14 villages with a population of about 2,050 people. Benga's got about 1,000, and Yanuda's got about 200, and Vatulele about 850. And this is ensuring that our people in our island communities have access to transport services for movement of both passengers and important cargo. So as you can see, we are not only focusing our efforts through MSAF, but also through the provision of shipping services in surrounding islands in the Lamy to Suva corridor or Serua corridors. And we must look at it holistically to ensure that all arms of the maritime sector work and complement each other. MSAF's vision is also to, in enhancing shipping, is also to have cleaner seas. And to achieve this vision, I request all our stakeholders to be very proactive and to keep abreast with all the laws and regulations pertaining to International Maritime Organization instruments that Fiji has actually ratified. Ladies and gentlemen, since this office will be serving our locals living along the coastal areas of Pacific Harbour, I'm strongly advocating our safety and the need to follow and also to adhere to safety rules that are in place. Statistics from the Fiji Maritime Surveillance Rescue Coordination Center, managed by the Republic of Fiji Navy, recorded a total of 64 search and rescue operations last year alone. And of this figure, 5 cases were from this particular area. And from the cases reported, FMSRCC spent approximately $90,000 on these operations. And 165 persons were rescued, 52 were self-rescue, and 11 have actually been declared missing at sea. What this means is resources need to be deployed every time there is a search and rescue mission, as lives are in danger and safety has actually been compromised. So I'm pleading with all seafarers, all boat masters and members of the public living in this area to ensure that they always take safety seriously and to ensure that your boats are surveyed and inspected regularly and that your boats actually meet the highest safety standards. Pacific Harbour, as I mentioned earlier, as we all know, is a tourism hub also of the Central Division, surrounded by a vast ocean and other vast water resources and sources. So it's actually equally important for every boat owner, every master, or every ship operator to take safety seriously, because accidents can occur within a matter of a split second. To the Chair and to board members and CEO, the opening of this office means meeting the increasing demand and expectations of the members of the public and the maritime industry. And an office is only a physical space, but it's actually how we serve the people that truly matters. I want to thank everyone also who has been involved in making this happen. And I want to also say that this is actually a good place to have the office, but I ride across here on the weekends. It's a good place to stop. With those few words, ladies and gentlemen, I can declare the MSAF Pacific Harbour office open. Thank you very much. Vinawalevu.
So they're doing a briefing.